There is one single reason why every married man cheats. When you hear that married men are always cheating on their wives, there is always one reason that caused it. Every married man cheats on their wives because of this one singular reason. And that reason is when their wife have stopped catering to their needs. Yeah, even married men have needs. And when their wives have stopped catering to this need, they jump into the arms of other women. Most likely, the single ladies. Now, there are 4 needs that is essential for a man to remain faithful to his wife. And if the wife doesn't cater to these 4 needs, it becomes a huge problem. The first one is the sexual needs. When a wife have stopped meeting to the sexual demands or to the sexual needs of her husband, trust me, that man will become sex-starved. And a man who is sex-starved will try to get that satisfaction elsewhere. Probably the wife is struggling with her job. She's always tired. She's always traveling, or she spends more time taking care of the kids, running around for the kids and all those things, which will deprive her of the energy and the time to have sex with her husband. Now, men are not built to complain. This is one thing most women don't really understand about men. Men don't complain. Naturally, we don't complain. When we notice that our wives have stopped allowing us to, have that constant access to their bodies, we tell them once, babe, let's be doing this thing constantly. Let's be spending more time having sex. And the woman will start complaining, I'm stressed, the kids, my job. That will be the last time that man will ever bring that topic up, because he doesn't want to stress out to the stress of his wife. So what he will simply do is go out there, find himself a young lady, and make him a side chick. And before you know it, he will start sleeping with that girl. And when the woman finds out, she starts crying. My husband cheated on me. He cheated on me. No, it's because you deprived him of constant access to sex. Now let's move to the second need. The second need is emotional need. When a woman or a wife has stopped meeting to the emotional needs of her husband, your husband is struggling. You don't even care to ask him, babe, what's going on? He's having a hard time in his job. He's struggling in his business. For once, you can't ask your husband, babe, I hope you're okay. I hope you're all right. You are more focused on yourself. The man should be the one asking me how I am. The man should be the one emotionally taking care of me. The man should be the one helping me emotionally. You're always concerned about your own self. When a woman becomes selfish in marriage, especially when it comes to the emotional side of that marriage, there will be a huge crack. Your husband will basically zone out of that marriage. For example, your husband is struggling to repay a loan that he took for the benefit of the family. He has not been able to meet up. And you, for once, you've not asked him, babe, how are you coping? How are you managing to repay this loan? Instead, all you do is nag, complain about how there's no money in the house, how he cannot give you money for clothes, for hair, for this and that. The man will get emotionally frustrated with you. And of course, men also have needs. Men also want somebody to, ask them, how are you? Men also want someone to check on them. And the best person to do that is their wife. But when the wife is not able to do that, they will go somewhere else. Probably this man has this staff of his that is always asking him, boss, I hope you're okay. Do you need anything from me? Or he has this long-time female friend that's always checking up on him. Before you know it, that man will start sleeping with that woman. Because men are easily attracted and drawn to women who also cater to their emotional needs. Probably from asking how he is, the man will start feeling, oh, let me open up more to this girl. Let me open up more to this woman. And before you know it, from opening up to her, they'll start an affair. And that is how they'll start sleeping with that woman. So if you are a married woman, cater to your man's emotional needs. Once in a while, or even every now and then, ask him, babe, how are you coping? How is the business? How is your job? Don't always expect the man to be the one asking you, how are you? Always expecting him to do everything for you. Also, cater to his emotional needs too. Men have emotions too. The burdens that men are carrying are too much. So once in a while, ask him, how are you, babe? What's going on? I hope you're all right. Let the man feel special too. The third need is attention. Men too deserve attention. If your husband, you don't call him often, you are making him very vulnerable to girls out there. Men want to feel that I have a woman that is obsessed with me. There are some times that your man or your husband will be at work. Call him. Ask him, babe, I hope you are doing okay at work. What do you want to eat if you come back so I can prepare it for you? The man will feel that this girl is actually in love with me. But a situation whereby you don't even give your husband attention. He comes back from work, you don't even talk to him. You don't even discuss with him. You don't even bring out time for both of you to laugh or to even have a good time. You're always more interested in giving more of your attention to your job, to your kids, to your business, while forgetting your husband. If they ask you, be like, he's a man, he can take care of himself. He's a man, he can take care of himself. Don't worry. Another woman out there will take care of him for you. As a married woman, you are your husband's best friend. Whether you like it or not, your husband is your best friend. Therefore, you must treat your husband like a best friend. Even if you're a busy woman, bring out time for you and your husband to bond, for you and your husband to go on dates. Bring out time to cook special meals for your husband. There are some married women that have stopped cooking for their husbands altogether. They're like, I have mates, or you can buy food outside. You are making your husband very vulnerable to these girls out there. Because if a little girl out there cooks for your husband 5 or 6 times, makes him feel special, gives him enough attention, your husband will fall vulnerable to her. That's one thing you women don't know. Yeah, dear, claim me, I have a business, I have to focus on my business. I'm a career woman, I have to focus on my career. And you are depriving your husband of attention. You are preparing for a broken marriage. That's truth. The fourth need is egotistic needs. Men have egos which can easily be bruised by a woman. There are some married women who don't respect their husbands anymore. Your husband will say 1, you will say 100. Your husband will tell you to do this. You will end up doing another thing altogether. You only do what you want to do, not what your husband tells you to do. No matter what, your husband is the leader of that marriage. He is the captain of that ship. A situation whereby you don't even listen to your husband, you don't obey him, you don't make him feel like a leader. That man will start feeling disrespected. He will start feeling that you've basically bruised his ego, you've damaged his ego, and you start looking for your replacement elsewhere. He might not leave you because of the kids, because most times it's always the women who fight for divorce. You hardly see men divorcing their wives. But what he will do is he will get a girl somewhere out there who respects him, and of course he'll start sleeping with her. And when you find out, you start shouting, "My husband is cheating on me." You are the one that caused it. You are the one that pushed your husband into the arms of another woman who was able to respect him. Men always go where their egos can be massaged. This is one thing that you women should understand about men. The moment you start disrespecting your husband, or the moment you stop listening to him, you are just pushing him slowly into the arms of another woman. So you ladies out there, this is why your husbands are cheating on you, and will keep cheating on you if you don't change.